If you're like me, you might have come to the conclusion that these cheap, janky little flashes, speed lights, whatever you want to call them, just aren't powerful enough and they're just not doing the job anymore. So in this video, I want to share something with you guys that I found that is incredibly powerful and it really gets the job done. How's it going, guys? My name is Andre. I am a Canadian photographer who just wants to help you get better at your craft and improve your business. So if that sounds enticing to you, definitely consider subscribing because I do tutorials, tips and tricks, and gear reviews just like this one. So in this video, I actually want to talk about the Godox AD200. It might be pronounced Godox, it might be pronounced Wistro, it might be pronounced Flashpoint. I say Godox because that's just what rolls off the tongue easier. But there's been a lot of hype about this guy. There's a lot of videos already out there, but this is just my take on it. I want to share my thoughts on the speedlight with you guys, my experience with it, and why I think almost everyone needs this guy in their kit. So to completely start off, we're gonna look at what comes inside of the box. In the little carrying case that you get with the speedlight, you get your charger, your charging cable, the battery, you get a light stand bracket that you can attach to this. You get the speedlight itself, as well as a bare bulb attachment, which comes in super handy. So with the Godox AD200, you get one single battery, and the battery life is actually incredible. I've had a double header weekend where I forgot to recharge this. I had 2 portrait shoots on a Friday, used it all throughout, and then I had a wedding on Saturday, and it still hasn't died. It got me through 2 whole days of shooting. This thing gets you roughly 500 full power flashes. It'll get you even more if you're using, 1/8 of the power. So that is really incredible. And it's very reliable when it comes to its battery life. And of course you can just purchase more. So that's the beauty of it. Moving on to the build quality. This thing is actually built like a brick, like a tank. I've had kids knock this over at weddings. I've had a very heavy softbox on it and the wind just took it down. I do have one small dent on it. That's it from so many drops, so many fatalities, if you will. So the build quality of this is quite impressive. It is built like out of a stronger plastic. It's not metal or anything, but they did a good job. I'm happy with it, real happy. Now I want to talk about some of the other features that this guy has and why it is better than a speedlight. First of all, the power output is 200 watts. It's 3 times the power of your regular flash, your regular speedlight, which is incredible. It's not that much bigger in comparison, right? Like this is a very small flash, but I have a slightly bigger one, but it's, it's very comparable in size. It's compact and it fits in your bag incredibly easy. Now, the other features that this guy has is it has high-speed sync. And for most of these features, I actually use the Godox X Pro S trigger to trigger this guy. But for the high-speed sync, what this allows me to do is it allows me to take portraits outside with a wide aperture, f1.8, 1.4, 1.2, and I'm able to crank my shutter speed to keep everything properly exposed at 1/1000th of a second. So with that, it allows me to get that wide aperture look while I'm shooting directly into the sun and everything is still properly exposed, which I absolutely love. So a lot of people are looking at high-speed sync right now, and it's just something that's very common and very popular. Another awesome feature of this guy is TTL, which is through the lens. It actually allows me to do some metering through the lens before I'm actually taking my shot, and it takes into account the power output of this guy, and it shows me what my exposure would look like, which comes in real handy for weddings and things like that, because then you don't have to mess with your settings over and over until you actually get it right. The one drawback of this guy that is the modeling light. It has a modeling light, so if I turn it on, right, and then if I turn on the modeling light, it's fairly dim. It actually doesn't do much. If you're indoors and you're real close, then maybe it'll help. But if you're outdoors, this literally does nothing for you. So you can't crank the power on the modeling light either. Well, you can a little bit. You can dim it as well, but it's not powerful enough. So that's the only drawback of the light that I have. Now, because it's so compact and it's so wonderful, I really recommend everyone to have one of these in their kits. It's crucial. You can't go wrong, but not everyone might necessarily be able to afford it. It is more expensive than a speedlight. In the United States, the Pro version, which has slightly better specs, slightly better recycle times and bigger battery compared to this one. In the United States, this retails for about $400, and in Canada, it is for about $470. Do keep in mind, they do have a 300 version, a 400 and a 600. They're both, not both, all three of them are more powerful, but they're also bulkier and not quite as easy to travel with. So those are my 2 cents on why this is kind of the king of them. If you're looking for something that's really more powerful strobe, those are the ones to go for, the bigger models, because this is a strobe and a speed light, 2-in-1, a hybrid shooter, the best of both worlds. So this is why I'm recommending the Godox with strobe flashpoint, Godox AD200 or 200 Pro for you guys to have in your kit. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and let me know down in the comments below what gear you still want me to review. If you want my 2 cents on anything, I would greatly appreciate it. And follow me on my social Instagram at Andre_Roman. I would really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day.